The readings will now be given by Elizabeth from Georgia.
The Bible, Proverbs. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. Genesis. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived, and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bare his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock, and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Exodus. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Galatians. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. James. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. 1 John. In this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. For this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. My little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. I will read correlative passages from Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures and Prose Works by Mary Baker Eddy. I see no other way under heaven and among men whereby to have one God, and man in his image and likeness, loving another as himself. This being the divine science of divine love, it would enable man to escape from idolatry of every kind, to obey the first commandment of the Decalogue, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me," and the command of Christ, "Love thy neighbor as thyself." On this rock, Christian Science is built. Evil was and is the illusion of breaking the first commandment, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." It is either idolizing something and somebody or hating them. It is the spirit of idolatry, envy, jealousy, covetousness, superstition, lust, hypocrisy, witchcraft. Whoever demonstrates the highest humanity, long-suffering, self-surrender, and spiritual endeavor to bless others ought to be aided, not hindered, in his holy mission. I would kiss the feet of such a messenger, for to help such a one is to help oneself. The demonstration of Christianity blesses all mankind. It loves one's neighbor as oneself. It loves its enemies, and this love benefits its enemies, though they believe it not, and rewards its possessor. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Know ye not that he who exercises the largest charity and waits on God renews his strength and is exalted? Love is not puffed up, and the meek and loving God anoints and appoints to lead the line of mankind's triumphal march out of the wilderness, out of darkness into light. Whoever challenges the errors of others and cherishes his own can neither help himself nor others. He will be called a moral nuisance, a fungus, a microbe, a mouse gnawing at the vitals of humanity. The darkness in oneself must first be cast out in order rightly to discern darkness or to reflect light. Envy is the atmosphere of hell. According to Holy Writ, the first lie and leap into perdition began with, "Believe in me." Competition in commerce, deceit in councils, dishonor in nations, dishonesty in trust begin with, "Who shall be greatest?" If a man is jealous, envious, or revengeful, he will seek occasion to balloon an atom of another man's indiscretion, inflate it, and send it into the atmosphere of mortal mind for other green eyes to gaze on. He will always find somebody in his way and try to push him aside, will see somebody's faults to magnify under the lens that he never turns on himself. One can never go up until one has gone down in his own self-esteem. Humility is lens and prism to the understanding of mind healing. It must be had to understand our textbook. It is indispensable to personal growth and points out the chart of its divine principle and rule of practice. Cherish humility, watch, and pray without ceasing, or you will miss the way of truth and love. Humility is no busybody. It has no moments for trafficking in other people's business, no place for envy, no time for idle words, vain amusements, and all the etc. of the ways and means of personal sense. And what of the hope of that parent whose children rise up against her, when brother slays brother, and the strength of union grows weak with wickedness? The victim of mad ambition that saith, "This is the heir, come, let us kill him, that the inheritance may be ours," goes on to learn that he must at last kill this evil in self in order to gain the kingdom of God. Envy, the great red dragon of this hour, would obscure the light of science, take away a third part of the stars from the spiritual heavens, and cast them to the earth. This is not science. Per contra, it is the mortal mind sense, mental healing on a material basis, hurling its so-called healing at random, filling with hate its deluded victims, or resting in silly peace upon the laurels of headlong human will. What shall therefore the Lord of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the husbandman, and will give the vineyard unto others. Who is so great a God as our God, unchangeable, all-wise, all-just, all-merciful, the ever-loving, ever-living life, truth, love, comforting such as mourn, opening the prison doors to the captive, marking the unwinged bird, pitying with more than a father's pity, healing the sick, cleansing the leper, raising the dead, saving sinners. As we think thereon, man's true sense is filled with peace and power. In Christian Science, the law of love rejoices the heart, and love is life and truth. Whatever manifests aught else in its effects upon mankind, demonstrably is not love. We should measure our love for God by our love for man, and our sense of science will be measured by our obedience to God, fulfilling the law of love, doing good to all, imparting, so far as we reflect them, truth, life, and love to all within the radius of our atmosphere of thought. Love for God and man is the true incentive in both healing and teaching. Love inspires, illumines, designates, and leads the way.